Welcome to the annual reorganization meeting of the Mayor and Board of Trustees today, Monday, April 14th, 2021, 7 p.m. And the agenda is as follows. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this one? This is the one. Say appointment of the village.
The appointment of the village clerk, John Carge, 2-year term for the board,
We have a motion?
I'll make that.
and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carried.
Mayor, I'm sorry, we should have remained standing for a moment of silence.
That's okay. We'll go stand. This afternoon, longtime resident, Vinnie French has passed away. Probably early 90s, but longtime resident, former judge, good guy. Thank you.
I will read the resolution before the mayor proceeds with the appointments. Resolution number 06-2021 of 2021. The mayoral appointment, resolution appointing a third ward trustee to the village of Wappingers Falls. The following resolution was introduced by Mayor Serino. Whereas Kristen Catalano has tendered her resignation effective April 1st, 2021 as third ward trustee, causing a vacancy on the village board of trustees. And whereas pursuant to Village Law 3-312, the mayor is authorized to fill such vacancy for the remainder of the unexpired term. And whereas the mayor conducted interviews with several interested appointees for the vacant third ward seat, and whereas the mayor, in consultation with the Village Board of Trustees, has reviewed various resumes of interest persons and has determined that Adam Laricella is the best candidate to fill the third ward trustee position. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor hereby appoints Adam Laricella, residing at 9 South Mizzier Avenue, Wappingers Falls, New York, as village trustee to fill the vacancy of unexpired term of Kristen Catalano, third ward trustee, which term ends April 4th, 2022. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Dated April 6, 2021. I have already, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
I have already sworn in all the mayor and trustees previously. So, roll call. Mayor Serino.
Present.
Trustee Huber.
Present.
Trustee Sadati.
Patient.
On vacation, or
Vacation. Trustee Ruffin.
Present.
Trustee Ponte.
Present.
Trustee Nesnick.
Present.
Trustee Laricella.
Present.
Village Attorney Wallace.
yeah.
Go ahead.
The deputy mayor will be trustee Sadati, Pat Sadati. I will note, I am an appointing an honorary deputy mayor, happens to be my brother, who has subsequently joined the Historical Society. He lives in Enfield, Connecticut, but my brother will be an honorary deputy mayor. So, with that said, we're going to move forward. This will be the 150th anniversary of the village's incorporation this year. So, it could be a little exciting. With that said, it's a significant anniversary, though. Okay. So, for treasurer, village treasurer for a 2-year term, Jessica McMahon. For the deputy treasurer for a 2-year term, John Carge. For the associate village justice for a 1-year term, Rich Fiorelli. Village engineers, it's a 1-year term, KC Engineering. The bond attorney is Greg Supple for a 1-year term. The highway superintendent, Pete Podgy, for a 2-year term. The plumbing inspector, zoning administrator, fire inspector, a 2-year term, Brian Murphy. The planning board members, we have a vacancy for a 5-year term. Joe Simone will fill the 5-year term, and we have an open for a 1-year term, which will be filled shortly. We have a planning board alternate on a 1-year term. 2 positions are open. We are still interviewing. ZBA zoning board member, a 5-year term, Frank Barisi. Zoning board alternate, a 1-year term, Vince Harvey. Water board member, 3-year term, Mary Morris. And Don McCormick, that's a 3-year term, and Don McCormick will be an alternate. With that said, I'd like to have a motion to approve these appointments.
I'll make the motion.
A second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who second, did you
I
second?
second
Okay. We have some more. Parks Commission, 1-year term, Kevin Huber. Recreation Commissioner, this is open. Camp Director is open. Historian is Brenda Vonberg. Planning and zoning consultants, we have Four Corners Planning. And we have to appoint the village newspaper and alternatives, so that will be the Southern Dutchess News as the primary and the Poughkeepsie Journal as the alternate. And we have the depository for the village funds is M&T Bank and Salisbury Bank. We set the date and time for regular meetings and hearings. Second Wednesday each month and last Wednesday of the month as needed, except on holidays, then it will be the Wednesday prior. Village board meetings will be held at the Village Hall at 2582 South Avenue at 7 p.m. and the last Wednesday meeting at 5 p.m. So, motion to accept.
I'll make that motion.
A second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Ruffin. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay. Committees and chairpersons. Tri-municipal will be Mary Morris and myself at Tri-municipal. On the police, Trustee Niznik, Laura Selly, and Sadati with Trustee Niznik as the chair. Public Works, Trustee Sadati, Huber, and Ponte, with Trustee Sadati as the chair. Fire, Trustees Huber, Sadati, and Ruffin, with Trustee Huber as the chair. Refuse Liaison, Trustee Sadati. Electric Light, the clerk handles Central Hudson. MS4 Coordinator, the clerk, John Carge, handles MS4, has done it for about 20 years. I will be the library liaison. Boathouse, Trustee Huber, Niznik, and Ponte, with Trustee Huber as the chair. I will handle library. Boathouse, did I just do Boathouse? Yeah.
You're at Cobbler Building.
Cobbler Building, John Carge, John Carge. Legislative, we have Trustees Huber, Loriselli, and Ruffin, with Trustee Ruffin as the chair. Recreation is Trustee Huber, Niznik, and Ponte, with Trustee Ponte as the chair. Finance is Trustee Loriselli, Niznik, and Ruffin, with Trustee Niznik as, no, Trustee Loriselli as the chair, excuse me. Trustee, on the lake, it's Trustees Huber, Sadati, and Ponte, with Trustee Huber as the chair. John Carge handles insurance. The personnel, contract negotiation, and labor relations, that's Trustees Niznik, Loriselli, and Sadati, with Trustee Niznik as the chair. Trustee Niznik will also be the liaison to the court. We'll have planning is Trustees Ruffin and Loriselli. On zoning, Trustees Loriselli and Ruffin. Economic development, this is going to be up for discussion. I will be the grant writer liaison. I will work with our grant writer. Code enforcement, it's Trustees Ruffin, Loriselli, and Sadati, with Trustee Ruffin as code enforcement chair. The clerk handles Dutchess County landfill. The senior citizen liaison and ADA is Trustee Ponte. Mizzier Homestead liaison, that's the clerk, John Carge. The safety committee is Trustee Ponte, Carge, Heather McCormick, and John Kozak. Disaster, it's myself, Mayor Serino, Trustee Ponte, Police Commissioner Burke, Fire Chief Travis, and Highway Superintendent Paggi, and the Fire and Police Committee members. With that, I'd like a motion to approve.
Make it.
And a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. The local clergy will be the Presbyterian Church, St. Mary's, Zion, and the Church of God. The committee meetings for 2022 are the finance, the second Wednesday at 4 p.m. at the Village Hall, with the chair being Trustee Loriselli. Personal is as needed. It's closed to the public. The chair is Trustee Niznik. Tri-municipal, as scheduled, is usually the first Thursday of the month. I'm the chair of that. Lake is the first Monday at 4:30 p.m. at Village Hall.
Mayor, may I jump in here real quick for this?
Sure.
We changed that meeting to the third Monday
Okay.
before recreation at 6
So
p.m.
this is Lake,
Yes.
And
third Monday.
And
Be at
all,
the same, be at the Legion Hall, not the Village Hall.
Okay, at Legion.
Yep.
at 6 o'clock. Adam, the finance meeting is gonna be the first Wednesday.
At 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we used to do it at 7, but we have 3 trustees. We can't have all 6 of us can't be together, so
You have to be morning, right?
And that's at 6.
that's at 6, yep.
Okay. Okay,
It was with Rick, but
okay.
I can still be there.
Mayor, we're also going to be changing the, finance.
Sure.
We don't have an exact time. It's going to be the first, Wednesday of each month.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you
And we're still trying to nail down a time.
firm that up, 2 weeks from now, let us know.
Okay.
Because we'll meet again.
Thank you.
Okay. The water meeting is the Monday prior to the second Wednesday at 6 PM at the Village Hall. The chair is Mary Morris. Congratulations. Recreation is the third Monday at 7 PM at the Legion Hall, and the chair is Trustee Ponte. Legislation is the fourth Wednesday at 4:30 PM at the Village Hall, and the chair is Trustee Huber. Police is the fourth Monday at 4:30 PM at the Village Hall, and the chair is Trustee Niznik. Public Works, I think this was also changed,
Yes, I can fill you in.
so,
It's the Monday before the meeting at 2 PM.
Okay.
At the Highway Department.
okay, so this is the Monday before the board meeting.
Correct. So it's like the water board meeting.
Okay.
And I also have one more for you, the next line. And I'll be done.
And what is the time?
Is that 2 PM?
2 p.m. Okay. Okay, so the fire is
Whenever their chief would.
as
a-
needed?
Yeah, as needed. Usually every 3 months.
Okay, I'll just put as needed then, I guess.
Yep. That'll work.
Okay. American Legion is the first Monday, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Legion Hall, and Commander Raymond Chase.
Okay, you don't need that motion to adjourn.
So, just a motion to accept these times and dates.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I would just like to say at this time that I appreciate and thank the board for their vote of confidence in me as your village clerk for my 10th two-year term. I appreciate that, and just a little history. This village of Wapner's Falls is unique in the sense that you've only had 2 village clerks in the last half century. Leo Lowney for 37 years and me coming up at 20. So I think that's really great. And again, thank you for your vote of confidence.
Thank you.
Okay, legal notice. This is the tentative hearing budget portion of tonight's 3-phase meeting. Notice is hereby given that the tentative budget for the Village of Wapner's Falls, Dutchess County, New York for the fiscal year 2021-2022 has been completed and is filed with the village clerk of said village, 2582 South Avenue, Wapner's Falls, New York, where the same may be inspected by any interested person during the regular hours of the business day. From the date of publication of this notice to the date of public hearing of said budget, notice is further given that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Wapner's Falls, New York will conduct a public hearing at the Village Hall, 2582 South Avenue, Wapner's Falls, New York, on the 14th day of April 2021 at 7 p.m. to review the budget, and any person may be heard in favor or against on any item therein contained. In summary, total appropriations for the fiscal year 21-22 are $5,239,519. Pursuant to Village Law Section 5-509, notice is further given that the compensation to be paid to the mayor and each member of the Board of Trustees is as follows. Mayor, $35,000 annually. Trustees, $7,440 annually. Dated March 29, 2021. Treasurer McMahon is here to answer any questions. We have a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make it.
Second.
So Treasurer McMahon is over there. For those of you who don't know her, she's put together a very detailed tentative budget. So if there are any questions about it, this is a tentative budget. This is not the final budget. The final budget is scheduled for the end of the month.
Correct.
Are there any questions? No questions? Can we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Was it
Is a second?
Mike Ruffin and Adam Larisella? Okay, Mayor and Board, if you recall, the Village of Wappingers Falls Safety Department, there were 5 of us, now there's 3, and congratulations to you. Now we're back to 4. Put a lot of effort into safety here in the Village of Wappingers Falls municipal facilities. And because we did that and we documented everything so well, PERMA, which is our comp carrier, they do an annual recognition of a community in New York State, and there are a couple thousand that they insure, selects one of the municipalities that's outstanding in safety. Well, we were the ones that were selected, and that's a real honor. We put a lot of effort into it. They're going to come down here. They're going to do a video, 4 to 5 hours of footage of what we did. We're going to do show and tell. We're going to take them around, and we're going to do all of that. And it'll be aired during their PERMA annual meeting, which will be virtual this year. But I'm going to get a section of the part where they recognize the Village of Wappingers Falls, and I'll show at a future date here, and I'll also put it on our website so you can all see what that recognition is all about. So I think that's a real home run for us here. But, you know, today's achievements are tomorrow's standards. That's the way I see it, so we got to keep it up, and I'm sure we will. And that's all I wanted to say about that, Mayor.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good. Action on minutes on the March 10th, 2021 meeting.
We only have 2 members that were here at that meeting. The others weren't present, so they wouldn't be able to vote, but I would like to hear from the 2 members that were here. Trustee Huber and Trustee Nesnick.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. April 8th, they were all here. So if you can get a motion. for-
April 8th meeting. Is a special meeting. And a second?
Ian?
Vote to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain. I was not there. Authorization to pay bills as per the approved warrants, as the Finance Committee reviewed the bills and suggested payment.
Yes, I'll make that motion.
I just wanted to discuss something, if it was possible. But-
Sure.
But if it's not possible, I would ask that somebody just, let me know. I had spoken to the treasurer about this though. I just had questions about some of these, one particular bill. I don't debate that it needs to be paid, but I wanted to discuss that we're working on a project that might not have funding right now. So is this something that I would talk about now, or
Yeah.
I guess I'd ask you, but
If the board votes to go into executive session, then it'd probably be more appropriate to discuss it at that point in time, given the fact that it's a vendor.
okay. So I don't really have a question about paying it. I don't dispute paying it. I want to touch upon why we're doing certain projects, and that came to light when I was signing off on the checks. I know I'm being kind of mercurial, but it's more because I don't know what I can and can't discuss, because I'm trying to figure that out myself. But this was something that flagged when I was going through everything. I did briefly speak with Trustee Ruffin about it. And,
Yeah, I think that probably should be discussed.
Typically, what they'll do is they'll approve all they'll approve all the bills with an exception of any that wanted to be held out.
Correct.
And then those would be discussed after.
And sometimes the bill gets held for a month, sometimes 2 months, until you get your answer.
That particular vendor is fine if we do not pay it.
excuse me?
So that particular vendor is fine if
Yeah.
you hold off
So I'm
on it.
making sense. In my-
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
If we delay it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, delay a month or whatever, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so,
You have a motion on the floor to accept the bills that were audited.
correct.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
This next item is a refunding bond resolution dated March 10, 2021, a resolution authorizing the issuance pursuant to sections 90 or 90.10 of the local finance law of refunding bonds of the Village of Wappingers Falls, Dutchess County to be designated public improvement refunding serial bonds and providing for other matters in relation thereto and the payment of the bonds to be refunded thereby. Treasurer McMahon put this together several months ago, and we haven't been able to have a meeting to approve her to go forward with this, but maybe you have a few words you could say about
Yeah,
that?
so this is just basically debt that already exists in the village, so we're refunding it at a lower interest rate, just like we would do a mortgage or anything like that. So it's gonna save the village like $302,000 over the next 10 years.
Well, what I think the issue here was that you needed a supermajority
Yes.
vote,
Yes.
and you couldn't get it at the last few meetings.
Correct.
So, you need 5 votes
Usually do a roll call vote.
to pass this motion, this item. So,
Roll call vote. Oh, first we need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Trustee Ruffin.
Yes.
Roll call vote. Trustee Huber.
Aye.
Trustee Sidoti, absent, vacation. Trustee Ruffin.
Aye.
Trustee Ponte.
Aye.
Trustee Nesnick.
Aye.
Trustee Larissella.
Aye.
You don't have to vote.
I'll vote though. Aye.
Mayor Sereno.
Aye.
We have the supermajority for that passed. Finally.
That was the longest bond resolution.
So tomorrow we'll process that
Okay.
bond resolution.
Good. So, we have a behavior Evaluation and Assessment Team called BEAT and the Village of Wappinger Falls. This is a intergovernmental agreement with, for Canadian geese control at the Mizzier Park and Veterans Field.
Not that one.
What?
The one before it was
Oh.
the beat.
Oh, excuse me.
I think the village attorney can speak to that.
Which one? Are we? I thought
That's in this package right here. The first, this one, Craig?
Is this the beat?
Yeah.
This is an intermunicipal agreement that was offered by the county as a consortium to various towns and villages throughout the county. And the village is a part of that agreement and has been in the past, having to do with behavioral health and its involvement in the Municipal Innovation Grant and the Hudson Addiction Recovery Centers. So that is what this is before you. And, you know, it's a cooperative program, and each town and village and city that's part of the consortium is asked to individually adopt the agreement, and you fall under the umbrella of the county, who oversees the program.
So,
One-year contract.
Yeah.
we would need a motion for the mayor to sign off on this agreement.
So this is a training program where they come to us and train? Can you just explain a little bit more about what's happening? So it sounds as if personnel will be provided to come down here? Or do we have to provide?
Table this until next month, or?
What has been the past practice for this particular program?
As practice, I think they've gone up there and they've come down here as well for this training.
We table this till next month?
Uh,
Look at it? It's the first time we're seeing this.
Sure.
Yeah, I think there's no objection.
Is there a deadline for this?
Not that I'm aware of.
Motion to table?
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay,
It was Kevin Hoover and Jen Nesbitt.
correct. Okay, so now we have, where I jumped the gun?
Yep.
The intergovernmental agreement.
What the village has been doing for the past several years is hiring the government out of Albany to come down and oil the eggs of the geese, Canadian geese around the lake, to keep them from going on Vets Field and the Mizzier Park. It's not very expensive to do this, but we've been doing it every year, and I'm told that we get a lot of success out of doing that.
Yes, they didn't come last year due to COVID.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there was a big problem down there at Vets Field on the dock on Spring Street, so.
So, need a motion to approve to have the intergovernmental agreement.
I'll make it.
A second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried.
Just for your information, I put a separation in this package by yellow
I
page.
did see that, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
So this,
Yeah, parcels, 96, 97, John?
yeah, we've had quite a bit of discussion with New York State DOT over the past several months.
I could talk to her.
DOT gave us a very excellent presentation. Dave, he did an outstanding job in explaining things to me that I didn't know about the village of Wappingers Falls. During his research, he found that the village owned property on the other side, the east side of the bridge.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and there's quite a bit over there. Most of it is swamp, looked like in your presentation.
Yes.
And you can announce your name.
Dave Walker.
Dave Walker, also a resident here, pointed out to the village board that there is a small strip of land that they will need when they widen the bridge on Route 9, the Peter Faneri Memorial Bridge, to allow for a walkway. As you know, if you travel that way, there are people walking in the median, and it's very dangerous. So I think that's a home run to do that. In order for them to do that and stage their equipment, we had a small parcel, 2 parcels that were very small. Were they 10 by 20 or something? Small?
7 feet wide, the state wants to acquire to own, and then a 10-foot wide easement, temporary easement behind it for work area.
So we have already we have an agreement, and we did agree to sell those 2 parcels. So tonight, it's just a matter of signing the affidavit for title.
Mayor, if I could just add, the prior board did vote to accept the state's offer of compensation for the taking. It's a taking, it's not selling the property. The state is actually taking the property for the improvement. And there was a nominal offer made, the prior board voted. The paperwork for the appropriation came in after the last meeting in March. So we did not have a full board comprised at that moment in time. So now we have, for your consideration, Mayor, you can sign the paperwork, the voucher, and it will be sent back to DOT and they'll process the paperwork. Title is already vested in the state. They own it. The matters will file. It's just a matter of us getting paid, not breaking the bank.
Good.
So we need a motion to approve the mayor to sign the voucher.
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's a nominal amount. I see one up here, it's $2,500.
Right. Not much.
And it looks like maybe the other one is the same
I think it's 2,500
for both?
Total.
total.
Okay, well then this is
That's
a
all you're getting.
duplicate.
I don't know, Jessica, if it's not gonna affect your budget much.
Money's
but,
money.
Yeah,
yeah. It'll be in the positive column.
okay. So, I will sign that later.
We have one more resolution. Resolution number 08-2021 of 2021, resolution adopting protocols to respond to state disaster emergencies involving public health. Okay. Whereas New York State Law 27C, as amended by Chapter 30 of the laws of 2021, requires the village to prepare a plan for the continuation of operations in the event that the governor declares a public health disaster emergency involving a communicable disease, and whereas New York State Labor Law 27C sets forth the details that are required to be included in the plan, and whereas the Village of Wappingers Falls has presented the plan to all of the duly recognized union representatives of the village employees, and they have reviewed the plan and have had an opportunity to comment on the contents of the plan, and the village has considered all comments made. I can't talk with this. Whereas the village board has reviewed the public health emergency plan for the village of Wappingers Falls, now therefore be it resolved that the village board hereby adopts the public health emergency plan for the village of Wappingers Falls, which is annexed hereto and shall be made part of the minutes of this meeting. And be it further resolved that the village clerk is hereby directed to post a copy of the public health emergency plan on the official signboard of the village of Wappingers Falls for a period of 30 days. And be it further resolved that the village clerk shall post the public health emergency plan in a clear and conspicuous location with other required employees' notices, and shall cause the public health emergency plan to be included on the village's website and where it may be accessed by village employees. And be it further resolved that the village clerk is directed to file a certified copy of this resolution together with the annexed public health emergency plan for the village of Wappingers Falls in his records. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. So, need a motion to approve.
Before you approve, Mayor, I just wanted to make one comment. This particular plan was supposed to be disseminated to the unions, to our 2 unions, which it was. And I had, the police union did not have any comment, and they did communicate that fact to Village Clerk Karsh. And I did talk to the CSEA representatives, and we had a phone call about whether or not this was going to affect the CBA. And as you can see in the promulgation, which is the first page, it expressly states that nothing in this will supersede, modify, amend, or trump any existing labor contract agreements. So I just wanted to assure, all workers that is the case. This is just a mandated new law that all municipalities must abide by. This particular form was taken off NICOM's website. It was disseminated. It's the same exact form that most municipalities throughout the state have adopted. So just wanted to make that comment. There is another version out there that was a little bit more fancy and permanent. John, I would ask that that be the one that is sent to Albany instead of the version that's in these minutes, but it's the same exact content. So.
Would you kindly have Sandy send that to me?
I have it here, and I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Okay, I'll introduce the resolution. We'll need a second, though.
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Mayor Sereno.
Aye.
Trustee Huber.
Aye.
Trustee Sidoti, absent. Trustee Nesnick.
Aye.
Trustee Ruffin.
Aye.
Trustee Ponte.
Aye.
Trustee Larissella.
Aye.
Carried. We are in receipt of a letter from Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary that they would like to hold a fundraiser on May 23rd and May 24th at the corner of West Main and Delaverne Avenue between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. They would need board approval.
Well, I see no objection for not granting it, so. We need a motion to grant approval.
Yes.
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried.
We are also in receipt of a resignation letter from Pat Chase, who was a long-term water board chairman. The motion to accept his resignation.
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
William T. Garner has voted in Nick Rizzo and Ben Amundson as members of the company and S.W. Johnson reported Lou Silvestri changed his status from life active to life inactive. We accept their correspondence.
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
For the new members, what we've been doing for the past year or so is the police commissioner provides us with a monthly department status on different calls that his department has made during the month. And we've been comparing them to the previous year. So for calls and service, this year they had 354 in March, and last year they had 289. 11 arrests this year, 7 this time last year. 144 tickets, 68 last year. Call-outs for service was 8, 5 last year. Other call-outs were 2 this year, 11 last year. Shifts not covered, 1 this year, 7 last year. Domestics, 6. Last year, 12. Lockouts, 11, 5 last. Larcenies were 4, 5 last. Drug complaints, 0 this past March, 3 last year. Criminal mischiefs, 12 this year, 1 last year. Accidents, 19, 16. Assault calls, 0, 1 last year. Burglar alarms, 10, 17 a year ago. Medicals, 53. Last year, 38. Civilian complaints were 1, 0 last. Parking tickets, 103. Last year, 11. Use of force, 0. That concludes the police commissioner's report of statistics of tickets. And
Motion to accept that report.
I'll make the motion.
A second?
I'll second.
that was Kevin?
And Muffin.
Oh,
All in favor?
Aye.
I would like, though, at some point, for the police committee to analyze the feasibility of whether or not you want to air all these issues in public. There could be a negative of doing what we just did. So, maybe you discuss it and then come back to the board, or we can have a discussion at a later date, sooner rather than later. I just see a couple of issues that doing this report like this, because some of these items could be sensitive. That's what I see. Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the floor to accept the report, and all in favor?
Yeah, aye.
Aye.
now you can start this.
Okay, so we have, I don't have anything for this.
No, he does.
Oh, okay. Oh, there he is. So we have our grant writer, and he will give an update. Corey Yusevich.
Hello. Yeah, so usually for the new members, I'll come here and give an update on all of our grant projects and what we're working on. I assume with so many new members, updates might be irrelevant because you're not fully aware of all of the projects. So I just made these for members, and I apologize to the public. But so I have a list with me of all of our current grant projects, their name, the awarded funding, and what's left as of April 2021.
Okay.
There's a few other projects that, I'd be doing, but they're not physically awarded grants yet. I had you all sign that resolution for that sewer grant we're going for. We won't hear about that until at earliest September. Commissioner Burke and I have been talking about a grant that's in the early goings for technology for police, so things like that I'll update you on. But I wanted to give you this list, and I'm not going to go through the entire list today in detail because that would take me a very long time, and this is already a pretty chock-full event. So what I want the trustees to do is take this, look it over, and at some point in the next few weeks, if I can meet with one of you or a couple of you at one time, we can have a sit down and I can walk you through each and every project we're doing. Because again, some of them, it'll be a good portion of dialogue, so I don't really want to go through the whole thing today. But yeah, so take a look at it, and again, sometime next week or whenever, just give me a call and we can have a sit down and go through this in really great detail. So that's really all I wanted to do today, is just give you that info. Older trustees, you have a list like this, but this is an updated one. And I'll also send you an email with the Excel of this, so you have it in digital form as well. So that's really all I just wanted to say today. Do you have any questions?
I just want to ask one quick question. I look forward to sitting with you, but just
Sure.
So here is this Freddie Reese Park. It says awarded money one.
Yeah, so that was...
That's awarded grant money?
So that was the only one, actually. I was going to do a disclaimer at that. That's the only one that's like then the project as a whole.
Project on the whole?
Yeah.
And the grant money was $375?
Yeah, okay. But the rest of them, yeah, are straight up the project and the grant. But that was the only outlier.
Okay.
So the LWRP 575, that was $575,000.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so again, yeah, any questions, I can meet with one or multiple at once, but it'd probably be a kind of a long meeting, so I just give you a heads up, and then from then on, when I give updates, you'll know what I'm talking about, so. Thank you.
Okay, so, next, highway, village-wide cleanup, trustee Huber.
Yes, we're looking to do a cleanup this year. We haven't done one since 2013. And I'm trying to make it cost effective and cheaper than what we've spent in the past. So I guess I'll be looking for approval tonight also on this, maybe. So what we're looking to do is have you're going to have to apply for a permit through the village, and you'll get a ticket, and we're going to have it down at the highway garage. So you got to show proof that you live in the village, that you have residence in this village, and then you would bring it down to the highway garage, and Royal Carting would be down there as per our highway guys to help you unload the stuff into the dumpsters. We have we raised the garbage price, I think it was 2 years ago for this cleanup, and it's never happened. And I want to get it started. There's been a few residents talking about it. I think we need to do it. And that's the way I think would be the cheapest way than putting it on the curb. Because I think if you put it out on the street, especially on Main Street, it looks like garbage going down the road. And outside people come in and dump. People go through it, make a mess in your front yard. I think this way is more easier, effective, and cleaner.
Especially with the pandemic going on, you know, you don't want like all these items on the street and people stopping and touching them and rummaging through your stuff and whatnot. It's just a very bad idea. And waste management, they're not picking up bulk items right now due to the pandemic for what, a year?
Yeah, well, we've been starting back up, but
yeah. So this is a chance to get rid of those big bulk items.
yes, Mrs. Rogers.
Now, what about seniors that don't have access to trucks or anything? You know, they always put it in front of them.
I understand. I mean, I don't know, maybe we
Would
can...
that be feasible for the highway department to bring up their pickup trucks?
Okay.
Well, I think that'd be something the board would have to talk about. I mean, because I think we'll be opening ourselves up to Whereas, well, I see my neighbor get picked up from the town, why can't you pick up mine, kind of thing. I mean, we'd have to discuss this as a board if we
Yeah.
wanted to go that route.
Yeah.
You could base it on
Like-
age. You could base it on age, like if I go, why is they picking it up? And I go, oh, because the woman that lives next to me is 80 and I'm 44, then maybe that would be why.
This is how other towns are doing it. The town of Wappingers does it this way, where they have not so much a cleanup, it happens a couple days a week. But the town of Fishkill does it this way. They do it
Yeah,
once a year.
We have permits for the town.
Yeah.
too, But we have trucks
Yeah.
that we can put our stuff on and whatever. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of senior citizens in the village, they don't have access.
I understand. I understand. I mean, I'm just trying to make it a little.
Yeah, no, I
I
understand
mean, we can,
too,
I mean, if the
but
board,
you
if the
gotta
board
think
decides to
of-
go that route, then we can go that route, but this way's cheaper than we've spent in the past.
We could even try and get people.
We're looking at, we did a rough estimate, it was gonna be like 18.5 to do it this way, compared to 32,000 doing it the other way. So it's a difference.
We could also come up with maybe something where we employ our highway department on the weekend, and if someone needs their assistance, they can call and get their assistance. So even if we pay them overtime to come and help, maybe someone elderly, it's still cheaper than if we do it the old way. Plus, the benefits of that is we're not putting our garbage out, we're not putting our stuff out to be picked up for people to go through. When we do it the other way, obviously, as we already discussed, people come and dump, knowing that we're having a dump day. So if we can just narrow it down to the people that live here, I would even look into, paying our own guys some extra time to turn around and pick up as needed, as requested by a resident.
As it is already, Jen, there's different people just put couches,
Oh, I
anything
know.
they want out anyway, and the village picks them up.
Yep.
They should find them.
It's a liability.
Thank you. This goes up.
And on the website.
And the resolution. So did you want to table that, or what did you want to do with that?
Well, it's not,
Well, it's a talking point, it's a talking point, and then the board's gonna have to, I'm gonna assume in the budget process, because we might bring it up.
Well, the money's there in the budget now. I do know that, talking with Heather. And talking with Pete, our highway superintendent, he was looking more to start like next month in May, for the month of May, so we'd have the whole month of May, every Saturday in the month of May to do this. I mean, it's up to the board. I'm
Well,
just bringing it to
that
your
would-
attention.
Just bear in mind, that would fall in this current budget cycle, not
Yes.
next budget
Yep.
cycle.
Yep. Or we can wait till the fall. I mean, again, it's up to the board. I'm bringing it up to the
I mean,
board.
whatever Pete's schedule is, I mean, if he feels he can do it in this budget cycle, then, and the money's there, I don't see a reason why they don't do it
I think it's a good idea.
in some shape or form.
Yeah.
I do believe, though, that the seniors should get some consideration.
Yeah.
I like Kevin's idea of doing it ourselves. I just think we need to button up a few loose ends as to exactly how we could accommodate the residents here in the village.
It's a good idea, Kev. I'm not saying
Oh,
that it isn't. I'm
yeah.
just, like I said.
I'm just trying to get
village
I'm just trying to get the ball
has
rolling. I mean, every little bit helps, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Are people asking for it a lot?
Excuse me?
Are a lot of people asking for this?
Believe it or not, there are a lot of people that ask about it.
2 of our 3 wards already have the ability to do this right up the street.
Yes.
So, but we have to pay $50 a year, which is a small amount.
Small amount, definitely.
You're trying to do it for free for.
Like we've done in the
for
past,
residents.
correct. Yep, like we've done in the past.
Yeah.
And I'd also would like to sit down with the mayor also and go over to the town and talk to him about the first ward for that side, to do that with the town. I mean, I think it's a great idea what the town's doing over there, and it's it's closer for the residents.
As you're talking town of Wappinger.
Town of Wappinger, yep.
And really, anybody who doesn't have a truck probably doesn't have a sticker in the 3rd or 2nd ward. So there's probably many people in those two wards as well.
Probably right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
We just need to find a way to help the seniors.
Okay. Any more discussion on this?
I have this.
Okay, you're still up. Fire.
Fire? Okay, we had 19 fire calls for the month of March. And that's all I got for fire.
Okay. Village clerk.
We already talked about safety, thank you.
Trustee Huber again.
I guess we'll be meeting at the third Monday of this month. Talk recreation stuff, I guess.
Okay.
Cindy?
I have a question to ask because I really haven't gotten a straight answer. I don't know what the village's position is on summer camp this year. Permitting is right now. I need to submit a permit if we're going to have a summer camp program. And I'd appreciate it if the board could at least have a conversation about it and make a decision one way or the other.
You applied for the permits already, correct?
All I have to do is really renew the one from last year.
All right.
But I can't,
Yeah, well, we'll have to talk about that tonight. I mean, I think we need to do camp this year. I mean, other towns are opening up their camps. The town of Fishkill, it seems.
just about everybody's
Yeah.
their camps going, and registration is open for them, so I mean, we're kind of behind the 8 ball at this point in time. I'd
Yeah,
like to get rolling on it.
I think we need to do it for the kids this year.
When you went through the listing of appointments, you left it open for a camp director, which is, that's.
So Cindy, I'll just say to you right now that this is probably the first time this board has all met together since, as you know, we've gone through a lot of transition. So we have had conversations, just business as usual, apply for the permits, do everything that you need to do. And a lot of discussion that we were not able to have in the past are going to be talked about tonight and going forward. So we will have answers for you very, very soon. But like Kevin said, just keep applying for the permits. We are trying to restructure recreation a little, that whole area of what's going, of our village. So we're very, very close, and we just have to get together. We have some finance issues that we have to iron out as we're going through the budget process, but we will have answers for you soon.
With all due respect, though, what I have to say to you is that what I try to do is to create a budget where our fees are covering most of the cost of doing the camp. The problem is I don't know where to put a fee at if I don't have an idea if we are actually doing one.
Where was the fee from the last time we had camp?
Last time we had camp, it was $85 a week.
Was that successful? Did that cover what it needed to
Well,
cover?
we're going to need to bump it, I would think, because there's going to be a lot more things that we have to take care of at camp in terms of, COVID guidelines and stuff that will have to be put into place. And they have not come down from the state yet on exactly what they will require, but usually when they do, it's, a quick trying to come up with a plan of action. I don't know if it'll require us putting more safety equipment up or whatever, so.
So are you talking about hand wipes and washing and disinfecting and things like that?
There's policies and procedures you have to put into place. There might be some additional training. Actually, I do know that there's some additional things that are going to be required that were not required the last time I got the permit, which is everybody will need to be fingerprinted. It's a national process for the fingerprinting now, so it's a little bit more complicated than it used to be in terms of, just being on a state level. I'm behind on trying to, get an idea of staffing-wise, getting an idea of number-wise. So I really just have to say to you, I really need an answer as quickly as possible. Some of the stuff I've done, I did because, I felt we could go forward with having camp. But, I need some direction. I really do. I need an answer.
Excuse me, Cindy, do you think you'll have a limit to how many children will be allowed to attend?
It's a possibility. I budgeted on figuring on 55 kids is the maximum I thought they would let us have down there. going by the guidelines which are in place right now from the CDC. So we were below that last year, so I'm not overly concerned about it. However, I think because 2 years ago when we redid it, there were a lot of changes that I made to, because we went after a permit, and there was a lot of change to the program as to how it was done previously, that, you know, that made people shy away from it to some degree to come and participate, and our numbers picked up as we went ahead. But again, at that point in time, we also were late getting registration out to people too, because I didn't officially get appointed until April 1st. And if you look online right now, you can see that, you know, the town of Wapaneese is out there with, you know, their programs, and any other summer camp is around is out there too.
Just to echo her point, the challenge is we just got thrown into something, and it's a little bit messy right now. But we got to figure out financially things, I think, right?
Yeah, well.
And it is what it is. So.
Nope, finish, go ahead, I'm
I was
sorry.
just gonna say, I appreciate that we gotta be quick, but we can't just make the decision without having.
Could I ask that you at least have a decision before the end of the month?
Yeah, oh, we plan on that, for sure.
Maybe I prefer it sooner than later.
Our budget will be, our meeting is on the 28th, our final budget, so we'll definitely have an idea by then, by the end of the month. But I have a question for you. You said that everybody's posting already. Did you notice any increase in the other municipalities with their programs?
You know, I haven't really talked to a lot of them, so I think what they ended up doing was holding the price the same, except that they've cut programs in terms of what they're doing in camp. I prefer not to do that if we possibly could. I thought we had a good flow with what we, you know, started 2 years ago in terms of, you know, programs that I brought in. I'd rather not do that if we could. So, you know, it would entail, you know, again, I think we, you know, our cost was pretty much right on par with everybody the last time. So I'm not overly concerned about that. But, you know, staff need to be trained. There's a lot of things going on that,
right,
you know, need to be put into place. And, you know,
it's very safe to say you will have an answer within the, I would say the next week or two. Okay. That we just have some things that we want to, we're in the process of having our budget meetings. We have some things that we want to go through. We want to definitely, as far as I'm concerned, I definitely think we're having camp as long as the state or whatever lets us have camp. It sounds to me like everybody else is having camp.
Yeah.
So as long as it's a go, and I think it's safe to say that we're going to get back into camp. But it's just, we do have some things that we need to iron out when it comes to recreation and camp in general. So we want to get the whole picture together. I know that's going to be a piece, but we want to put a whole picture together for recreation and camp, and we'll have that answer for you soon. But
But I wouldn't take that as we're definitely having camp, because otherwise we would just give her that answer. Right?
I think camp in the past has mostly paid for itself, so I think it's safe to say. Then I guess
you just got
But like I said, I wanted to give it the opportunity. I wanted to give us the opportunity to all meet and go over. Like I said, we've just gotten together. This is probably the first meeting, as you heard earlier. We've had meetings in the past few weeks where there's been 2 of us here. So this is the first time we've been together as a group, and all I'm going to tell you is we do need a little time.
Would it be helpful if I were to come to a budget meeting if you wanted to meet it to be more elaborate about?
I will definitely call you if we need any information from you. Absolutely.
I would just remind the board, all of us, we're going to make this decision, but you'll have to come up with some kind of formula if in fact one of the counselors comes down with COVID. We're going to have to come up with some kind of formula, what's going to happen or whatever. Because I don't think the kids are going to come down with it, you know, the younger kids. It's possible, but I think it is theoretically possible that the counselors could get it.
I think there's going to be state guidelines.
I think the guideline from the state is, at least what the health department is telling me so far, is I will only be allowed to hire counselors that have had vaccines.
Well, but at least we need to know what to do if that scenario happens, that's all.
Well, I always have a backup plan anyway. I mean, last year when we were in the midst of the COVID, I had already started the process of getting our permit and stuff, and so I was following the CDC guidelines, and I do have procedures in place for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So that's just to let you know. I mean, I'd be happy to sit down, and I did have a meeting with the trustee from each ward last year when we were trying to make the decision over whether to have it or not. And I recommended at that time we not do it because I felt it took to be able to do what we had to do to keep the guidelines. It wouldn't have been any fun to have camp. I'm fairly confident this year that going forward, I can make camp fun, which is what it should be for kids. They should enjoy coming to camp in the summertime, and I think we can accommodate, anything that we have to handle at this point in time. We're in a better place.
I know there's some
I think
talk
we need
of
camp.
private camps that have been had regulations that require their campers to have proof of vaccination to attend. I'm not 100% sure as to the public campers, the municipal, run by municipalities, but I think that that's something that will also have to be on the website.
Are you talking about the children themselves?
It's a requirement for a state permit that all kids have to be vaccinated, and they have to show proof of vaccination. It's been a requirement. That was something that we did 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that
But
was
not for
pre-pandemic.
Not for
Yeah, that was
COVID.
pre-pandemic.
That's not a required vaccination at this point for kids.
Right.
So,
But you were just suggesting that perhaps there would need to be a requirement, correct?
I'm not sure what is going to be required in the COVID age right now.
Right.
That's ever changing. But I know with the private sector, they can require a COVID
Correct.
vaccination, requirement. They can impose
That's
that.
private.
Yeah. So. The policy should be on our website.
Okay. Trustee Huber again.
All right.
Lake?
Lake, the highway helped me put the weed boat in yesterday morning, so that's in. That'll be out and running. I talked to the new mayor coming in, or the new mayor now, about hiring somebody maybe for 20 or 30 hours a week. We'll talk about that in the budget.
Okay.
And also, we have a problem. It has to do with the lake, and it's going to happen again, I think. At the Franny Reese Park, down the lower level, we have concerts down there. A tree fell into the lake, and it's huge. And I'd like to see it get out of there. We need to get it out of there. I talked to John. John reached out to Harry Turbers. Maybe he can help us out. But there are 2 other trees, just like that tree that fell in the lake, that are huge, and they're going to fall. I'm not an arborist, but they look dead. They don't look good, and I don't like one tree in the lake, let alone 3 trees in the lake. So we're gonna have to get a hold of somebody to help us out with these trees, and it's gonna be a lot of work. And I was thinking, I don't think our tree guy can help us on this one. We might have to reach out to a bigger tree company or something like that for these other ones, because you can't get any equipment down there to take it out.
I spoke with Harry Turbush, who is the owner of the hydro plant down to Bleachery, who is also an engineer. And I took a picture of it and I sent it to him, and I said, we're afraid that if this tree were to float any further, it would go through the boater restraint, break that restraint easily, snap it right off, and could cause damage to the Clinton Dam. He looked at it. He also has a camera mounted on top of the water tank in the first ward, and he zoomed in on it and he looked at it and he says, not to worry at the moment, it's about 4 feet above water level. And even if we did have a flood, it wouldn't go up that high to float it away. And he said that he would get back with me within a couple of days of what he thinks could be done with it. You cannot get down there with a backhoe or crane or anything. The only way you could get to it would be by water. I'm kind of anxious to hear what he comes up with. He's very good at these kinds of things. He may have a float, he may be able to put a small backhoe on a float, cut it up somehow and drag it away over to the Betts Field area. So I would update the board when I find out more about it. As far as taking down the other 2 trees, they're big locust trees and they're already leaning. They will be the next 2 to go. I would also ask Harry to give me an assessment what he would be able to do with those. But at the moment, he doesn't feel there's any danger.
Okay.
That helps.
I mean,
Okay?
Okay.
I'll give you, whenever he gets back with me, I'll text out, or I'll email out what he recommends.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
You're still up, Kevin.
Still up.
Water.
All right, water, Corey's helping us out to get a grant for the filtration plant. Sean Patrick Maloney, correct?
Yep.
And we've been, Craig is gonna try to help us with a water leak we've been dealing with for a while over on Prospect and Mizzier. So, they're the 2 topics that we've been talking at the water plant. And the water leak is a big topic, so it's not a big leak yet. We're not losing that much water, but small leaks turn into big leaks. And that's all I got.
Okay.
I think I'm done for the night, Mayor.
Okay. I'll swing to the far left here with Trustee Niznik, Personnel.
Nothing at this time.
Okay, thank you. Sewer and Grants, is that you, Corey?
Kind of, I kind of gave a little update on the grants already, but yes, some things that aren't on that list is the Sean Patrick Maloney earmark
Right.
funding applications. Tom Morris and I are working on electric vehicle charging grant application. Cindy and I don't even know, there's like 3 things we're working on between Bain Park funding and trying to find uses for St. Mary's School, which is currently just a vacant building, not really being used for much besides a pantry closet. Those are just a few of the small projects and grants we're sort of looking into at the moment that aren't officially village grants.
Well, you did get a confirmation and letter relative to the boathouse, so with the...
Oh, yes, that we're in the process of closing out. We had our inspection with our architect last week, it was last Friday, and they just sent us an email today. Well, I was attached to the email. It was for our contractor to fill out. We're still waiting on the lampposts outside, which are back ordered, but besides that, the inside and the ADA accessibility, which means a wheelchair can enter the building and enter a bathroom and be able to basically access any part that other people would access. That's all been passed by our architect, and we should be able to close out hopefully this month.
Good. Corey's residence is in my office, because there's another table in the room, so we're always discussing the grant items. So that's where he's working out of. And if you come around 11:45, he likes a nice roast beef sandwich with mayonnaise. Okay, so we want a little public input here.
Okay, this section, public input, was when we were Zooming, people would be able to send input to me, questions or concerns, and then I would read them aloud here. I haven't received any since our last meeting, so there isn't any. However, Mayor, in the past, Mayor Alexander would open it up to the public if anyone had anything in public to discuss before you went into either executive or adjourned.
Well, that's usually a good policy, so I think that's worth saving, so we'll continue it.
Okay? The hand up there.
Cindy?
I just wanted to say that the Business Association is having a ribbon cutting at Casa Ortega that went into the vacated space on 32 Market from Cafe Con Leche. It's at 12 noon. They have had a soft opening for the last couple of weeks, but this is their grand opening. I'm giving you all an open invitation to join us at that time at 12 noon. We'll be doing a cookie ribbon cutting. I asked the mayor the other day to come, and he said he would make every effort to be there and stuff. So I'd appreciate it if you would, if you have the time to come, if you could join us, I'd really appreciate it.
Which day is it?
It's Friday, the 16th at noon time.
Oh, yeah, List Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell them about that. There's going to be a recognition memorial on List Road, 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. on this Sunday coming up, for anyone would like to attend that. And that'll be at Fisherman's Park,
At the end of this road.
the end of List Road and Route 9.
Is that?
Danielle, did you want to say anything about that?
No.
Okay.
I think it has to do with them renaming the section of Route 9 that runs through the town of Wappingers is being renamed Wappingers Veterans Memorial Highway. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and that is, it's their grand unveiling of the sign. Or
I know from the
whatever.
village, Commander Ray Chase and myself will be there representing the American Legion. I don't know if we can get a color guard together in time for that, but that's our plan.
Okay. Any other input from the public? Yes, Paul.
Yeah, I'd just like to publicly thank, from a taxpayer's point of view, Corey for all the work that he's done getting grants as a taxpayer. I've seen, and Scott Williams previous to this, $8 million in grants from Scott and $750,000 from Corey have been obtained by the village. We had infrastructure that was really hurting prior to all this happening. Old water lines, old sewer lines, roads that were just, beat up and stuff, sidewalks and stuff, the lamp posts that have been done. And that amount of grant money is taken from the taxpayer. We never could have afforded all that money as taxpayers in the village. And all of those things really needed, to be done. So from a taxpayer in the village, I would just like to personally thank Corey for the work that he's done on a very small salary compared with the work that he does. And I just, I think that people don't know the work that he does. The taxpayers don't. I happen to know because I know that how much he's involved with Cindy, doing grant work and stuff. So, Corey, I just wanted to personally thank you for all the hours that you put in and the money that you've obtained for the village of Wappingers.
Oh, shoot, thank you very much. It's my birthday today. But thank you very much.
Okay.
Mayor, if I could just add one thing, is when you open it up to the public, if we could just have people announce their name and
Okay.
that they're village residents.
Yeah. That's not an issue. Does the board have any questions? Okay.
I would just like to take a minute though to thank you for the appointment and to thank you for, for everybody here sitting that has been elected, welcoming me. I understand that it was an appointment and it's a little bit different, but I appreciate it, and I'll work hard to work with all of you to find some solutions to some problems. So thank you, I really do mean that.
Not an issue.
Thank you.
After knowing you for 20 years, I kind of know how you are. Okay, so.
That might be a problem.
Well, that could be.
Thank you.
I'm going to make a statement. before we close this meeting. I want to personally thank Danielle Masterson and Joe Krieger. What you don't know is when I was rushed to the hospital was that my blood oxygen levels were under 60. And not many people make it from that point. So they saved my life. So thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
Do you want to adjourn or go into executive?
Executive session.
Motion to adjourn.
Session, talk about personnel.
There's been a motion to go into executive session.
Who made that motion to go in exec?
I did.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.